So now this is the prototype air quality monitor we are designing here at UCF. And this project is sponsored by National Science Foundation. So the reason we were doing this is that we are aware that there have been some air quality issues, especially near downtown Orlando. And one thing with outdoor air quality is traditionally the instrument used to measure concentration of air pollution is extremely expensive. So we are talking about $20,000 per piece. So because of that, there are only a few spots, only 3 spots in the entire Orange County to measure some of the most important air pollutants. So that's why we want to do this. We want to jump in. We want to design a new device that's much cheaper. So for example, this device we were able to keep the cost under $500. And because of low cost, we were able to manufacture lots of them. So in this project, we will be deploying about 100 units of the low-cost air pollution monitors across Orlando, especially in downtown region, to measure the air pollution. So we want to use the data basically to inform the resident. So the resident can know the air pollution levels in their neighborhood, and we also hope to use these information to facilitate the conversation between the community and the government, so that corresponding actions can be designed appropriately and can be taken to reduce air pollution level just to protect the health of the communities.
So what kind of data does that gather?
So now this device gathers outdoor concentration of two different species. One is little particles, particulate matter. So these are teeny particles in the air. You cannot see them because they are too small. You can't see them. So, and the problem with that is because they are too small, if you inhale them, they get all the way inside your lungs. Because they are too small, your nose, your throat, your lung, the different branches, you can't capture them. And the second species of matter is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is not air pollutant per se, but it's a very important greenhouse gas. So collecting the information will help design basically different strategies, different policies to reduce the impact climate change.
So now, does this just gather the thing, or does it transmit it back to you? I mean, how do you get the data out of it?
So in there we built a little cell phone module. So basically what happened is when this thing will gather the concentration, and the concentration will stream back to our server using the cell phone network.
Oh, okay. So now you're trying to, so do you already know where you're going to put them up, or do you need people to volunteer sites? How's that work?
I would say both. So we are still looking for hosts basically to allow us to gain access to their property. We are looking for some poles like this, sitting in an open area that has the unrestricted airflow. So we hope to be able to install them, to have some hosts to install them on their poles in their property. Now this was just for demonstration purposes, so it was installed at about 5 feet high. But when we actually install it, we'll have to install it around 10 feet high. It's going to be way up there. On the other hand, we're also trying to identify poles in public spaces where we can install them.
So now, does it cost anything if I had it installed on my property?
No, there's no cost on your side at all. So everything is paid for by the National Science Foundation. We will take care of the installation, which the installation is pretty simple. We don't need draw any power outline from overhead power. This thing is powered entirely by solar panel. We just hook up with a few hose clamps, and it takes less than 10 minutes to install. And we will be responsible for the maintenance. If everything goes wrong, we can see them on the server. We will come by and they repair it, replace it if necessary. So we will perform a constant checkup on the device. And so there's no cost at all. The only thing I need is basically your permission for us to gain access to your pole, to locate on your property. Another thing I'm asking that, although it's entirely optional, is that you can join us on the community panels. So we do have spots available on different community panels. So if you join the community panel, you will receive a compensation about $100. And basically the community panel will meet about once or twice per year virtually. And we're going to discuss how can we utilize the data collected by this. We're going to discuss how corresponding strategy can be taken if the matter concentration is high. How can we do this to reduce the pollution concentration? And we do also have a relatively decent community grant, up to $5,000 awarded to different community, where you will get to design what kind of strategy policy you want to take. You can use the $5,000 up to $5,000 in whatever way you want to do, as long as it helps reduce the pollution concentration. So
if I'm interested in any of these things, how do we get in touch with you?
So all you need to do is just send an email to airquality@ucf.edu.